Peace again, family. If you saw today's A Deck a Day, then you did hear me promise for an extended reading in alignment with this new moon in Aquarius. So we are going to go back to the Moonology deck. I do like for new moons and full moons for a deck a day to use this deck naturally in alignment, as well as using this deck for the foundation of the reading. For my extended readings now, I do go with a very specific structure of starting with a particular deck for the foundation, and then I go into another deck for clarification, a third deck for confirmation, and then a fourth deck for affirmation, and then I pull some charms if I remember to do so. I will pull some charms today. So we're going to, again, align with Moonology, and we're going to see what the foundation energy of this particular new moon in Aquarius is all about. And then we are going to build on that energy again through clarification, confirmation, and affirmation. So I give thanks to Spirit, angels, ancestors, sibyls and sages, ascended masters, star seeds, Neteru, the forces of nature, Yorisha, for giving me guidance for the collective, protecting my energy as I do so. And I give thanks to be used as a vessel. You see that? I'm going to take that because I'm in the prayer and it's coming through. So I give thanks truly for the messages for the collective. Ashe. Our foundation, card doesn't even want to come up. Energy is full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. It surely is. Right now, we're with this energy about strategizing our plan. If it's something new, as I mentioned in A Deck a Day, as I mentioned in the just picture post, scripted, scribed post that I posted up earlier, it's really about thinking about our action plan, finishing what we started. With a retrograde, you don't want to start anything new. Again, Venus is direct, but Mercury is still in retrograde. You do want to finish what you started, however. And oftentimes when we feel stuck, it's something low vibration. The fact that we're getting energy with Aquarius new moon telling us to finish what we started means that there is procrastination, there is stagnation, there is some type of doubt, there is some type of fear. All of that is negative emotion. All of that is negativity. So you definitely want to release that through our 6-day self-love commitment. For those of us who are watching that, were engaged with that. Many of us said that it felt like the self-love routines and practices and rituals really hit home only after we did the release ritual, which I believe was the second or third day. I definitely knew that that needed to be early on so that you can receive. You can't receive if there's no space for it to come through. You need to release in order to receive. So it's really important to think about what it is that you want. Again, if we're talking about whatever plans, whatever thing that you've started, or whatever it is that you're trying to figure out, strategizing, coming up with the action plan and the blueprint, you can have those dreams all day. You can create that practical plan all day. But if there's negativity in your space and in your energy, then all of those ideas aren't going to be able to really pan out. And that might be why you're stuck right now. That might be if you're in this position of feeling like there is something there's remnant that still needs to be released. Even those of us that did that release ritual, which was so cathartic and definitely took a huge load off, the irony with release is that now that you're open, now that there is that space for something to come through, you're able to now sift through things so much clearer. The clutter's not there anymore. It's like a hoarder. We were hoarding all of this negative energy and all of these things that we needed to release, and we were pulling some stuff out, and we got rid of a bunch of boxes, and we got rid of a bunch of clothes that we're not using, and we got rid of a bunch of stuff. But now, as you walk through the space of you, there's a lot more emptiness, and not emptiness in a negative way, emptiness just in terms of space, because now we have space for the abundance to come through. But with that space, it's so much easier now to pinpoint what else needs to go. Whereas beforehand, there was so much clutter, it was harder. There was a lot more that could be hidden in a space like that, whereas now things are a lot more exposed. So be gentle with yourself if you feel like you still have something to release, if you feel like something is still holding you back, and I just did all this stuff and I did my mirror work and I burned my letter, like what is it? What is that thing that's still there? That thing is still there because there's things, because there's stuff, and we have stuff. And if anything, you're so much further along because now you're able to see so much more that was hidden. You got rid of stuff, now you're on phase 2. This is a journey. All of this is a journey, and that's why you have to be patient, you have to be gentle, you have to be able to say to yourself, I wouldn't have seen this new thing if I didn't get rid of that other thing. So I'm on my way. Awesome. And just release it. It's time, and it's a journey. So again, it's going to continue to be something, and there's going to be, again, more that you may see that needs to be released, and that's okay. Honestly, the more the merrier. And it's not to say the more the merrier in terms of having things to release, but that's life. Sometimes we don't even realize that we have that much stuff to release until we do the work. But the fact that you're doing the work, the fact that you're doing that heavy lifting, that's the thing to celebrate. Because doing that work is one less thing that you're going to have to do tomorrow in regards to picking up that load and discarding it. So kudos to you, and be proud of that. So that is our foundation energy. We're going to get some clarification with my Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. I connect and I give thanks to Pamela Coleman-Smith. I speak your name. Thank you, Mama, for your intuition in the visuals of this card, these cards, and the interpretations. What is, the moon's coming through for us. Look at this. Beautiful clarification energy on this negative energy that we need to release. Ooh. You see that? 7 of Swords. Yeah, we need to release. You're damn right we need to release that. All right. Oof. Look at this. Okay. All right. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. All right. Oh, man. Listen. Some of us are carrying really, really heavy loads right now. Very, very, very burdening ourselves. You need to drop that load. That's the negativity that you need to release. You're carrying other people's stuff, not just your own. Be mindful of that. Be soulful of that. Be heartful of that. Because it's not yours. If you have your own, if we're talking about all of the stuff that we need to release or that we have released, and yet now you're carrying other people's, this is in the visual of imagining clearing out that space. You're a hoarder and you've got all of this stuff, bogged down. But you've done the work. You started the work. And you started to take out some things. And now there's more space for you to be able to see what else needs to be taken out. If you are going through all of that and you're realizing that the bunch of boxes and this ton of boxes that are in your space that belong to somebody else, you need to start there. And you're doing the work so that now you could start to see it clearly, but make sure that you start by releasing other people's baggage, other people's boxes, so that there's even more space for you to see what is left that actually belongs to you to be able to release and put that load down too. I always say healing is heavy. This is what healing is heavy looks like. The 10 of Wands is healing is heavy. Wands energy is very fast moving energy. It's about fire energy. It's about creativity. You are bogged down in regards to what it is that you need to do in terms of your dreams, in terms of your passions, because you're carrying this load. You need to put it down and you need to do it quickly. This is an energy too that, it's kind of like the longer you take, the heavier it gets. I think of it in the notion when they say if you hold a glass of water, the glass of water is very light, right? It's not that heavy. But if you hold that glass of water for 10 hours, you will start to feel the weight of that same glass of water just because of how long you're holding it. That's this energy here. The longer you hold this load, the heavier it's going to be. And true, you may be gaining some muscle, but you're going to feel the pain of that as well. So again, especially if it's somebody else's load, that's aligned with betrayal and deception and lies and thievery and somebody trying to get away with something and manipulate you in some ways. And as a result, that's part of the thing that you're holding. If it's also based on emotions, if it's based on the ego and intellect that the Swords brings in, people being all up in their heads but being more so about themselves, this is a very narcissistic energy card. So if you know that there's energy around you that is very much about themselves, that's going to try to get away with something and think that they have, a mindset over you, especially if you are the energy that will carry the load, that is more kind of like self-sacrificing type of energy. They will definitely take advantage as much as they can if you let that happen. If you don't drop that load, if you don't say, you know what though? Yeah, nah. Let them try to run away and get away with what they want to get away with. Let them go, as long as you are able to drop that load. As long as you're not there ready to pick up more of whatever it is that they leave behind when they kind of scurry off in their deceptive mode. So definitely release. It's really, again, it's right there, right? Time to release negativity. This is negativity. This is also being mindful, and I always read the Seven of Swords by saying, don't just look at it as something external, of somebody doing something to you. Think about what you may be doing to yourself. Think about what it is that you may be in denial about, that you need to put down, that you're maybe not facing and thinking, no, everything's cool. Like, no, I don't feel that. That's where mirror work comes in. Mirror work is not just a one-day ritual, right? This is something that we constantly do. Things are going to keep coming up. Like I said, even in the release, things are going to keep coming up. So as you go through it, look at yourself. Don't just look at others that may be, trying to manipulate you or deceive you in some ways, or pull the wool over your eyes. We do that to ourselves all the time. We really, really do. And it's so much easier to focus on when somebody else does it to us, because that's when, the kind of victim mentality kind of comes in that makes us feel a little bit less foolish, when something happens. It's like, oh, I can't believe they did that to me. But look at all of the things that we do to ourselves. That's where the moon comes in as well. Again, this is a moon reading. This is new moon energy. This is about things that are hidden, secrets, things that, are in terms of the illusions that we give ourselves. That's the stuff that you don't want to be in denial about. That's the stuff that you want to be able to face so that you can put that load down. That's the negativity that you need to release. You need to face it. You need to bring it up to the surface. You need to bring it out from the dark moon night into the day, into the sun, under the sun. So make sure that you're thinking, that you're working, that you're aligning with all of the hidden things that you may say to yourself or try to convince yourself, no, it's not really a thing. It's a thing, especially if we look at the foundation of this card. There is energy here because of the growth that we are going through on a global level. It's that much more reason to understand negativity is a part of it. It's duality in that sense as well, but realizing that we do have a choice in regards to how much energy we want to give something and how much we want that notion of the duality to encompass our lives. Very, very aligned again with the moon energy, the fact that this is a moon reading, that, we have to look inward. We have to, be honest with ourselves. We have to face our fears, face those secrets, express and share with, depending on who is affected by that particular secret. It's time to be honest. It's time to be true. It's time to again, if somebody else is carrying a load for you, right? This is the same thing of looking inward in regards to the Seven of Swords and you doing this to yourself, but also in terms of what you may be doing to someone else, what you may be putting on someone else based on what it is that you don't want to really bring into the light, that you want to kind of stay in the dark about. So definitely pay attention to that. Again, this is not a backtrack. I don't want anybody watching this with all of the progress that's been made, especially through these rituals for those of us that did, the 6-day Venus retrograde self-love commitment. The energy feels like, oh, but no, I want to hear like really good stuff. This is really good stuff. This is really good stuff because we are still in an energy of darkest before the dawn. That is what's happening. We are being trained. We are being raised to be on the front lines of this spiritual war. The only way we are going to win is if we really do conquer this notion of negativity. We are being bombarded with negativity every single day. Whether we watch the news or not, the energy is thick with it. We cannot escape it unless we do the work. Unless, I mean, it's all right here. These are very clear blueprints, and that's why the energy is a little bit low, but the energy has to be low because it's aligning with what it needs that needs to be released. It's not released yet. The negativity is the foundation of this reading. I do believe as well that the reason that it is this energy and this is the foundation of the reading is because this is Aquarius energy. Aquarius energy is about collective consciousness. Aquarius energy is about humanitarianism. Aquarius energy is about dreaming and dreaming big and really going for that dream. You're not able to do that. You're not able to align with the collective and your soul tribe and any of those things if you are not releasing what does not serve to get you in alignment with who is already potentially there waiting for you. So until you release what is no longer serving, until you come out of the deception and the heaviness and the weight that is depicted in this card that definitely derives from negativity, you know, it's going to be that much harder, if not impossible, for you to get there. Similar energy here in regards to the Four of Cups, because we are sitting here kind of apathetic, forlorn, focusing on these three cups and kind of being like, meh, whatever, because, you know, stuff is so, and we're focusing on the stuff, the news and what's happening, and and the COVID and the variants and the this and the separation and all the stuff that they're inundating us with. Oh, there's a new variant now, and there's a, right? And all the stuff, and then the vax and all this stuff. And as a result, it makes us feel like, yo, they really just jacked up the whole world. And when you do that, and you're kind of just like remembering in forlorn, like, oh my gosh, I remember when things used to just be normal, right? It's like not normal, it's not back to normal, it's back to natural. And because of that energy, again, that's totally aligned with this energy, we're focused on that energy, that we're not paying attention to something new coming towards us that is given to us. Air energy, this is Aquarius energy, air sign coming through and giving you a gift, giving you something extra. In some ways, we also look at the Three of Cups that are here, or the three cups that are here, and figure that it's enough, but not really feeling as content with the enough. And that's why there's that kind of apathy, you know, on his face, the kind of melancholy on his face. But Spirit is saying that you deserve more, so is bringing you the more. But if your head is down because of the negativity that you're still holding on to, if your head is down literally because you're carrying this load that you literally can't even look to the direction that you're walking, that you're like your face is literally in these wands that you're carrying, if your head is too preoccupied with seeing if anybody caught you, did they catch me? Did they see me? Did they see this thing that I'm trying to get away with, right? If you're doing that, even the moon's face is down. Right? So if you're in this down energy, you can't see any new offerings, especially if the offerings are coming from above. That is where the blessings are coming from. So you have to stand up, you have to look up, you have to rise up. That's what is why we need to release. That is the gifts that are coming. We will miss them if we don't release and if we don't make space for it. He's not making space. Right here, this energy is not making space. Even though there's a whole extra room here, you could probably fit 2 more cups right here if he was paying attention to the gifts that are coming through. So keep that in mind. You know, again, very, very clear alignment. And then we've got our Knight of Wands, which is telling you full speed ahead, charge. There's growth on this wand here. This is a wand, a knight energy that is on the horse with movement, with charge, with vigor, with creativity, with inspiration, ready to kind of go for it. This is the practical plan. This is the energy of what you need to focus on. This is kind of telling you, if you do this, if you get through this in a positive way, if you release the negative energy, that is what you have in store for you if you do the work. Knight's energy is about doing the work in a very in a studious kind of energy, doing again, journaling it, writing out the practical plan, getting to that next stage of figuring out how you're going to make it happen. It's not just a idea anymore. Now you're really going into taking the steps, taking the action to make it happen. And again, you know, focusing on the growth that is on the wand here to let you know that things can grow if you do what it takes to release what no longer serves, and as a result, get things moving. So let's put these here so you can still see them. And for our confirmation, I do want to connect with the Archangel deck that I used earlier for the last, or day before is a deck a day, because the angels have been coming through very, very tangibly for me, especially since reading that last chapter of All About Love, Bell Hooks, We Speak Your Name. So let's see what angels and their messages, I'm going to take that one because that was a nice little pop, have to confirm this energy and give us some advice in regards to what has come through thus far. So I give thanks to the archangels, to the angels, to the heavenly realm. See them pops? I'm going to take them pops. This is a fairly new deck as well. It's interesting. I don't usually get guidance to pull that many cards for the angel deck, but we've got Archangel Jeremiel. Learn from your challenges, relax and trust. Learn from your challenges, relax and trust. Put it down. You're good. Just put it down. Yes, there's challenges. Absolutely. Negativity is a challenge. What you need to release, people trying to do things or you doing them to yourselves in terms of what you're trying to get away with and manipulation. All of this is, this whole reading was about challenge. That's why I was even kind of apologizing that the energy seems to be so low, but it's really important for us to navigate it with what's happening in the world right now and with the support that we're getting from this particular new moon in Aquarius. So it's a time to dredge that up. It's a time to face all of that. And especially for those of us that just did this self-love commitment, it is about the commitment going forward. It is about the practice going forward. The fact that challenge is here, and I specifically crossed out challenge in this, alignment with the 6-day self-love commitment, is because it shouldn't be a challenge to love ourselves, and it shouldn't be a challenge to continue even past a 6-day plan to continue to do those rituals, other ones, modify, come up with your own, whatever it may be. So learn from your commitments, learn from your challenges, right? I can use those interchangeably in that sense as well. Relax and trust, really trust the universe, really believe and receive that if you do the work that is entailed here in regards to releasing the energy that doesn't serve, that things are going to flow for you. You are going to be okay. That you've learned, especially when you, again, muscle memory, you realize, like, I went through all that and I conquered it. Once you get into that Knight of Wands energy where you're, free flowing with your energy and you're like, yo, I'm strong enough. I did that. I'm good. You're good. Like, if you even look at the Knight of Wands with the pyramids, the mirrors in the background too, that's like ancient energy coming through, supporting you and saying, we got you. You got you. Archangel Azrael. It's time to let go, prepare for change. You can't make this up, because for one, it's time to let go, right? Put it down, let it go. Release, let it go. It's all aligned. Look at when connecting with the moon and the things, the illusions and the secrets that we need to release in regards to ourselves or face or express. Letting go of any apathetic kind of energy so that we can pay attention to what's in front of us. Letting go of any deception, any betrayal, whatever is in the past that is holding us back from the future. Let it go. Let it go. Time to let go. Prepare for change. This prepare for change is, again, very aligned with this air sign energy, Aquarius being an air sign, and me aligning that to Oya, who is the Orisha of the wind, and it is her feast day tomorrow. So when we connect with that energy and you realize that the winds of change are blowing through, also in regards to what's happening globally, also all part of this aligning ourselves for this spiritual war, darkest before the dawn, all of that, prepare for change is so incredibly important. I love how the energy the momentum has built through this Venus retrograde 6-day commitment, and then going into this new moon, and then going into Oya's feast day. None of it is by accident. We are going to it being the first day of the second month. We're in 2022. Any date for this year that has 0, 1, or 2 in it is a portal, is a significant energy. So the fact that January 2nd was the last new moon, the fact that now we're flipping those numbers, and the first of the second month is another new moon, and then we're going into Oya's feast day, which is the second of the second month of 2022. And then on the 22nd of the second month, 2022, you've got Pluto's return, which is a whole other thing I'm about to get into. So I'm one thing at a time, because that whole other conversation. But it's about the preparation because of that momentum, because of how all of these dates and energies are building upon each other. Oya's the wind. Oya is the change. Prepare yourself. And the way to prepare yourself, again, all of the blueprint is here. If you think that you're good, if you think that you don't have anything else to let go, this energy is letting you know how much they're rooting for you. To be like, you're not there yet. There's no there, but it's about, again, making sure that you are delving into all the stuff you need to delve into so that you can release what you need to release and really walk into the change. You're preparing for it right now. They want you to experience the change. So they're letting you know what it is that you need to do, the challenges, to make sure that you are learning from your challenges. All of that is part of the preparation to experience the immense change that Oya's energy brings in, that this Pluto transformation energy brings in with that return coming, the change in the experiences that we just went through with the self-love commitment, and new moon energy in Aquarius, being again about the free flow and, aligning with that action taking energy for our dreams and for expanding our dreams. And I just said flow. And we have Archangel Jules, align with the highest, go with the flow. First thing I said, and when I wrote in the message for this new moon, it says the water-bearing air sign, Aquarius, flow and breathe. This is the energy to flow and breathe. This is the energy that says relax and trust, float. That's what this energy is saying. Let go. Just lean back, right? But you can't when you're carrying all this stuff. How are you going to lean back? You're first of all, you can't lean back holding 10 big old sticks. He's not even standing straight. He can't even stand up straight, let alone lean back. If you think about this heavy energy, this also brings in a lot of guilt, and you can't just chill. You can't just chill. So aligning with the highest, you can only do that when you release negativity. This energy and this energy are direct opposites. Negativity that is not released, you cannot align with the highest. There is no negativity when you are aligned with the highest. So I love looking at contrasts and being like, which one do you want? Is it negative energy that you're preventing yourself from releasing? Or is it aligning with the highest? Because what you need to do to get here is do this. It's a very clear action step in order for you to do this. It's not just automatic for you to, okay, I'm aligned with the highest. Okay, great. Oh yeah, totally. Going with the flow, absolutely. Are you though? Because if you're still holding on to stuff, if there's still negativity that is bogging you down, you cannot get there from there. And then Archangel Samiel, choose harmonious responses, act with wisdom and grace. This is very, very important and powerful information coming through right now, because when we look at any potential betrayal, any potential feelings of sacrificing or carrying other people's loads, when we think about the negative energy that we're holding onto that is based on something or someone, something that was done that we didn't feel was fair, You know, the secrets and stuff too comes up with some childhood stuff, some inner child work. So all of these things oftentimes can make us point the finger to other people. When you do that, which, you know, human construct, it is what it is. Take the responsibility as well, though, to point the finger at yourself in regards to why something specifically happened, you know, all of the circumstances around it, even asking yourself very candidly why you let certain things happen. Some things, again, especially in regards to childhood, were in some ways out of our control. But through all of that, through looking at all of that, this Archangel Samael is telling you to choose harmonious responses, act with wisdom and grace. If you are knowing that you're learning from your challenges, that makes it easier to respond with wisdom and grace. Because you're like, you know what? I needed that. That's a lesson that I got. So yeah, it totally sucked, but I still got the lesson. So I'm going to now respond with compassion, with grace, with wisdom, with harmony, to again choose harmony. Choosing harmonious responses means that you're trying to preserve a particular dynamic or relationship. If you know that you want to preserve something with harmony, then it makes sense to approach it with wisdom and grace, regardless of what happened in the past. If you want to burn the bridge, then I guess you don't have to worry about it. So this is really just about, again, choosing love, ultimately, and preservation for whatever that dynamic may be, and that it doesn't serve to just be all up in your feelings. Even when you're dredging up the negativity, even when you're releasing the negativity. Releasing the negativity doesn't mean to sling mud at people, even when you realize that you're carrying their burdens or they deceived you. Go through it. Go through the lessons. Go through the secrets. A whole bunch of stuff is going to come out. And again, you're going to maybe feel you're going to judge yourself and you're going to judge others. But it's still about how you choose to navigate that after it comes through. And how much responsibility you take for yourself versus just pointing the finger to other people. You don't want these energies to carry over. If the point is to release negativity, then doing this is going to be the easiest way to help you release that negativity. To look at the situation, however ugly it was, and be like, you know what? I want to choose harmony with this. I want to let this go. And the only way I can let it go is through love, is through wisdom, is through grace. I always say rejection is protection. So that you do really have to look at any disappointments, anything that didn't go the way that you thought it would go. You have to embrace it with compassion. You have to embrace it with grace. Embrace it with grace. Because rejection is protection. Because if something did not happen the way you thought it was supposed to happen, it wasn't supposed to happen. What is yours is yours. What is for you is for you. Whether it's a person, whether it's a job, whether it's whatever it is. So whatever, again, you feel like you didn't get, you have to change your perspective on that and realize that if I didn't get it, it wasn't for me. So I should actually be grateful that now I'm on the path to actually getting what's for me. Something ending, something being released leaves that space for that real true thing that is for you to actually come through. So give thanks for all of it. Truly, truly give thanks for all of it. Let's get a affirmation with this angelically aligned deck as well. Give thanks for the affirmation that we need. Again. I knew that was going to come. I knew that card was going to come. Trust the universe. It's been here. It's been said so many times. It's just what it is. Lean back. This is how you align with the highest. This is this releasing, dropping it all, relax, preparing for change, let it go. Like, do you see these cards? Learn from your challenges, relax, and trust. Trust the universe. It's time to let go, prepare for change, release negativity, align with the highest, go with the flow. Choose harmonious responses, act with wisdom and grace. It's again, perfect alignment, clear as day, trust the universe. And if you trust the universe, it's so much easier to release what no longer serves. you just want to be here. You just want to live in this. You just want to lay back, lean back in this. You want to be in the vortex of this, just floating and swirling and all into love. Look at how beautiful this card is. Like, who doesn't want to just be like all up in that beautiful magic energy and rainbow energy? This is Oya vibes all over it. We've got a little O swirl right here even, and she's about the rainbow, burgundy and the rainbow. Trusting the universe. And we have, again, air sign energy with Aquarius. It's all there. It's all beautiful. Trust in this process. Trust in this process and believe and receive that it's going to be hard. Again, healing is heavy. But when you do the work, when you put down the load, when you start to look at it and you do the mirror work, you get all in your head and figure out what the deceptions is, whether it's somebody else or whether you're doing it to yourself, then you get to this beautiful confirmation energy with the angels, like giving you so much support and telling you so clearly what you need to do. And it is about releasing. It is about letting go. It is about dredging up a whole bunch of bad and ugly so that you can face it, get rid of it, and then all you do is float and align with spirit that got you. I'm going to pull some charms, and then that'll be it. And I think I may always forget to give Kaya a shout out for this beautiful vessel that I use for my charms that she made when she was in grade 1. How awesome is that? It's got a little cover and everything. So just wanted to give her some love, from a little charms vessel. So let's see what we got for the charms with this energy. Charms energy. We've got a feather, so our angels are coming through very, very clearly and very, very beautifully, and give thanks, especially the fact that for the first time I've got 4. I kept hearing to and another one and another one, and if we didn't get all of these that align so perfectly, I mean, right on point. So angels are here, angels are with you, giving you incredible support. Definitely look up Archangel Jeremiel, Archangel Azrael, Archangel Jules, Archangel Samael, and align with them. Learn a little bit more about, their alignment, their purpose, how they're here to serve and to protect. There are binaural beats on YouTube that you can listen to their frequencies and just tap in a little bit more. Definitely something that I recommend when I pull cards that are aligned with ancestors or angels, Orisha, anything like that, the netters. Do that extra look into. But again, they're here. They're very, very tangibly here. The fact that I get to hold this feather is them wanting us to know how very, very present they are. We've got a starfish. This starfish, every time I get the starfish, I think of as above, so below energy in regards to we are made of stars. We are constellations. We are star stuff. And you can look as high up in the sky and see stars, and you can look to the depths of the ocean and see stars. And that just goes to show how interconnected everything is, again, with that as above, so below energy. And it's below, right? We're talking about the ocean depths, Olokun energy. And you see stars, you see starfish. And then you look up at the sky and you see stars. And that means that no matter where you look, whether it's up or looking to the bottom of the ocean, you see a reflection. You see the star stuff that you as well are. So just remember that energy. Remember that that's why it's important to trust the universe, because trusting the universe is trusting yourself. If you are the universe, if you are a star in the universe, just like every other star in the universe, then just be mindful, be soulful, be heartful of that fact that trusting the universe is trusting you. Trusting you is trusting the universe. Remember that alignment, very, very clear alignment in regards to that. So that's beautiful energy. We also have that energy in regards to Aquarius being the water bearer, right? We're connecting with water in regards to the starfish as well, being in our ocean depths. We have a music note here. So when we think about how healing music is, how cathartic music is, I definitely am coming through right now to release. Part of our rituals for the 6-day self-love commitment was to sing, was to dance. So we need to do that more often. That's something that we should take time to do every day. Whether it's serenading yourself, whether it's pumping some Afro beats and just giving yourself a jam, whatever it is, music heals. Take time for music. It helps you release. If there's a certain song that you listen to that helps you, process your emotions, whatever it may be, listen to that song. Sing it at the top of your lungs, whether you think you could sing or not. Sing in the shower. Do whatever it takes. Dance till you sweat. With every bead of sweat that comes off of you, imagine that being one less thing that you're carrying. Every bead of sweat is one less thing that you're carrying, is one more drop of release. That's powerful. Give thanks, Spirit, for that insight, because that's powerful. Every drop of sweat, if you could think like, yo, that's one other thing that I just got rid of, you're going to dance your ass off every day. If you can align every drop of sweat being to something that's coming off that you need to release. And it's cathartic. It is absolutely cathartic. So music. Write. If you are a singer and you are just singing and you need to write, you should write. You know what I mean? Like, just express yourself through music however you have been gifted, or not even gifted, just in terms of alignment, with music. Listen to it, hear it. Favorite songs, whatever makes you feel good, whatever, even if something makes you cry, every drop, every tear that comes through is a release as well. So align with that. That's water energy too. That's catharsis. The tears are salt, cleansing, purifying, detoxifying. Cry, let it come out. Release yourself from it. And if there's music that makes you do that, in terms of something that you're singing or listening to, if the sweat makes you do that, in terms of when you're dancing, just do it. And align with every drop that comes out of you is something that does not belong in you anymore. And then transformation, metamorphosis, the butterfly. The butterfly is so poignant in general, but in this reading, and I hope to do it justice, because butterfly is one of my animal totems, so I know well about the process of the butterfly and why it is metamorphosis, not just change. We're talking about change, right? Let go, prepare for change. We're talking about the air energy, Oya, who is the Orisha for change, tomorrow being her feast day, and all of this alignment coming through. This is beyond change. Metamorphosis is a complete DNA change from caterpillar to butterfly. When a caterpillar goes into the cocoon, it goes through such a transformation that when it comes out as a butterfly, it is a completely different species. That is powerful. That is the potential that you have when you release. When this stuff is released, when it is brought up to the surface and then no more, you are transformed. You are someone else. You are a whole other being. You don't even know what that being is. You can't know who that being is yet because the stuff is still there. But that's like really exciting to imagine that you could be a butterfly, that right now you're either still a caterpillar or right now you're still in your cocoon, but that you do the work and it's inevitable. And the work is what the butterfly has to go through to come out of that cocoon, because it's not an easy process. It takes work. It takes strain. It takes pain for the butterfly to come out of that cocoon. And if the butterfly gets help, if somebody rips the cocoon a little bit to try to make it easier, when they see the butterfly struggling to get out of that cocoon, the butterfly doesn't build the muscles that it needs for its wings to be able to fly. And then it stays on the ground and doesn't get to live its complete purpose. So we need to allow ourselves to go through those challenges, right? We have to let other people go through those challenges, and other people have to let us go through those challenges so that we can be the butterfly. And in alignment with the butterflies don't see their beauty. They don't see their splendor. So when you think about oftentimes the idea of butterflies being colorblind and just they don't see the color that they are. So you need to align with being able to see yourself from an exterior perspective and not an interior perspective, especially an interior perspective that's still holding on to all this stuff that needs to be released. You have to look at yourself the way the universe looks at you. Why the universe wants you to trust it is because the universe sees all of your colors, all of your splendor, all of your flight, all of your bright. So remember it, see it for yourself, and fly and soar. You can't fly carrying all of this stuff. It's heavy. It's heavy. Let it go. It's time to let go. Prepare for the change. Prepare to become this, again, metamorphosis, this butterfly, this energy. Your angels are with you. You are a star. And use music. Use music. That's definitely insight that's coming through right now in regards to, you know, these charms here and the getting a music note. The music too, yes, the binaural beats, as I mentioned, absolutely. The frequencies, listen to the frequencies. Oh, give thanks, Spirit, I totally missed that. Listen to the frequencies. When you listen to binaural beats, the brainwave music, especially since I had just mentioned to do that for the actual angels, because they often do have very specific ones that are aligned with them on YouTube and stuff. But do that in general, whatever it is that you need, whatever it is, it's about releasing negativity, there's binaural beats for that. If it's about forgiveness, there's binaural beats for that. If it's about self-love, there's binaural beats for that. Like absolutely anything that you can think of, including physical ailments, from headaches to, you know, stomach aches to cramps to whatever you can think of. So that even more so, definitely sing and dance and all of that. That's sweat and cry and all of that, because that's profound. Like I'm going to tap in to see how much I could sweat and cry with that alignment that came through, that Spirit just gave through, of like every drop that comes out is something that's being released, that's aligned, that with, that's no longer in you. That's like, I love that. So I want to do that because now I want to like align with that release. That's awesome. But binaural beats, which I listen to daily and straight through the night. And it does what it does, I can assure you. So whatever you need and think that you need, and especially as you're going through this process, you're going to get more indication of what it is that you need. There's a binaural beat for it, I can assure you. Listen to it, meditate to it, sleep to it, tap in, and let it support you. Especially, again, listening to those of the angels, or whichever angels that you align with specifically, you know. So that's it for this energy. Trust the universe. Trust you. You are the universe. So trusting the universe is also trusting your ancestors. They trust you, so you have to trust you. You know, they're doing the work as above. We're doing the work so below. And, you know, we align with them. We walk with them. They're also our roots. So it's all cyclical. Make sure that we're flowing in that way. The way that it looks right here is the way that it is. We are one. Trust that. Trust you. Trust that whole that it all is. That's it for the extended. I give thanks, and I appreciate all of you for tuning in. I appreciate and give thanks to the universe, to the angels, to the ancestors, to the Orisha, the Neteru, to the forces of nature for this alignment, and for using me in this way to get this guidance. I hope it serves. The blueprint is here. The energy is supporting us. Let's get her done, shall we? Until the next time. Time to get back to natural. Peace.